Good evening, everyone. If you don't know, you should know. My name is Rameez Khan, and I am a filmmaker and a film critic, and welcome to another episode of my favorite films. It's been a while since I did one of these. Today's film is Captain Phillips.
Captain Phillips, can you hear me? Captain Phillips, can you hear me?
Captain Phillips is a film directed by Paul Greengrass, and Paul Greengrass is an excellent director, not because his films are great, but because this man is smart enough to know what films and what stories fit his style. What stories fit his frenetic editing and documentary style cinematography. Captain Phillips is clearly one of those stories that fits that mold. Let's get one thing out of the way. Tom Hanks is absolutely incredible in this film. It is an absolute travesty that he wasn't given recognition for this film. He should have gotten a nomination just off the strength of the final 3 minutes of the film. When I was watching that scene, I felt the utter sadness and the catharsis of him releasing all his emotions. I wanted to get up and go hug the man. And much of the impact of the final 3 minutes of this film is also thanks in part to the score, the wonderful Hans Zimmer-esque score by Henry Jackman. That scene, even if you watch it without context, is very, very powerful, and it's even more powerful and traumatic for the people who have been through that. I've gone into shock once, although it wasn't as bad as what Captain Phillips went through, and those feelings are pretty accurate. You don't know what's going on, and I was having some chest pains, and I told the nurse I'm really scared. And all she did was tell me, I know. Just like the corpseman at the end of this film. By the way, fun fact, the nurse who was aiding Tom Hanks as Captain Phillips is the actual nurse who helped out the real Captain Phillips on the ship. In my opinion, this is Tom Hanks' lifetime performance. What else does he have to do? He's won an Oscar for not going full retard. He's done the whole weight loss thing. He's done half a movie in a different language in The Terminal. This is his most mature work, which goes hand in hand with the subject matter of the film. An absolute stunner of a performance by Tom Hanks. But what else puts this film in a league of its own? When this film came out, I saw it 5 times in theaters, and through this film, I met a good friend of mine, Francis Arnau. If you are watching, I miss you, and I hope everything's alright. But you lovely people don't want to hear about how I miss a friend of mine. You want to hear me talk about the movie, right? So let's get to it. First-time actors Barkhad Abdi and his gang are absolutely phenomenal. What makes this interesting is that this is their first performance, like ever. And they hold their own on screen, along with Tom Hanks, a seasoned actor, a veteran. Apart from Barkhad Abdi's Muse, they're all pretty basic characters, but what's cool is all of them get a scene where they're fully in command. The angry and strong one, Naji, is spectacular, playing the unstable yet smart pirate. To contrast him, we have Barkhad Abdi's Muse, who is cool and collected. It feels like these characters could have accomplished more if they embodied certain traits the other had. If Muse was a bit more assertive, he might have actually gotten this to work. And it also raises a lot of what ifs, such as what would happen if Naji went into the engine room and not Muse. This whole film is about taking command between Muse and Captain Phillips. Who controls the tide? I apologize for that pun, but it is. Who does control the tide? The second act of this film is like a chess match being played between Muse and Captain Phillips. They realize that it's a power struggle between the two sane people on that friggin' lifeboat. And it's rather amazing to hear the geopolitical dialogue that leaves Tom Hanks' mouth. And it's even better to hear Muse's qualms about the ruling of his country and life conditions. This is a story about globalization as well, and how everything is connected. The Somalis who kidnap Captain Phillips are coming from the viewpoint that they are forced into doing kidnapping by their bosses. The reason they're forced into kidnapping and extortion and stealing is because American ships come into their waters and steal all their fishes. As I said before, all the dialogue in the second act is absolutely amazing. One of my favorite lines is when Tom Hanks asks him, "There must be more than just fishing and kidnapping," and then to which Muse replies, "Maybe in America, Irish. Maybe in America." All aspects of this film are like music to my ears and eyes. The cinematography by Barry Ackroyd, the hectic cinematography by Barry Ackroyd, give it a voyeuristic feel instead of a shitty found footage film. That also has to do with the locations of the real story and where the film was shot in. All our characters go from land to a massive ship to a tiny lifeboat. The shots get tighter and tighter and tighter as stress grows and grows and grows in all of our characters as well. And not only does the stress grow between our main characters, but they also get kind of intimate with each other, where they start discussing real serious stuff. And another piece of writing which I'm a big fan of is how we take words for granted. In all 3 acts of this film, there's always a character telling Tom Hanks everything's gonna be okay. In the beginning, it's his wife when he's talking about his kids and their future, to which she consoles him almost. She asks him to have faith. Later on in most of the second act, it's Muse who's trying to console him by saying, Irish, everything gonna be okay. He's clearly lying, but he's telling him everything's gonna be okay. And then finally, in the big scene of this movie where Tom Hanks just breaks down, he gets to hear it again. Everything's gonna be okay from the nurse. Again, it's the same 4 words being said over and over and over in 3 different scenes. It's gonna be okay. But in those 3 scenes, those words have different meanings. And that was something which was really interesting to me and intriguing. I love this film so much, man. I watch it without hesitation whenever it's on the television. Ironically, it was on today as well. So it gave me more stuff to write in this review. It's not just a story about kidnapping. It's a story about globalization, security protocols, and the different living conditions of the world. It's an absolute masterpiece by Paul Greengrass, who keeps making great movies, by the way. I'm going to give this film an absolute perfect score of 5 out of 5. You have to go see Captain Phillips. When you do see it, please tell me what you thought about it, as I would love to have debates and conversations about this film. As usual, people, thank you so much for watching these videos. If you're new to this channel, please hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed this video. Any likes, comments, and shares will be highly appreciated, and I will be seeing you again very soon. But until then, remember to love yourself, people. Thank you so much.